Ital, we're speaking about no salt and or low salt and no meat and that kind of a thing. With the proper balance, yes, that's my I'm convicted, of that. The thing is, when I compare the lifestyle diseases like the high blood pressure, the diabetes, that is genetic, that we would get genetically anyway because it's in our DNA. I feel like Rastafari one's kind of, it's delayed, so I'd say a 90-year-old or 85-year-old Rastafari one is just coming down with a particular lifestyle illness or, lifestyle triggered illness then versus say a 40-year-old or, or 45-year-old Jamaican, average Jamaican. It must be coming from somewhere because, our food is a big part of how we experience life. And I mean, we're all exposed to the same stressors. We're all exposed to the same environment. So it has to be something that we're eating. So, with regards to that, I must say it must be. And I think there's a lot of literature that speaks to a diet that is not meat heavy to be a more beneficial and healthy one. Causing less cancers, less chronic diseases. So I must say yes, if it's done properly, because what I'm finding though, sometimes in efforts to be ital, with a lack of resources and funds, we tend to go carb heavy. So we're trying to do a lot of potatoes, a lot of bread pudding and cornmeal pudding and and sugar heavy. So which can also be bad, and sometimes we don't balance things like iron, like me. I tell you about the thing with my hair gloss. So we don't balance. If you have to balance it well, it's not a cakewalk. You can't just decide, oh, I'm ital, which means I just don't eat meat, I just eat salt. How you have to have a balance, live to really be healthy. Any exposure to tobacco at all will put you at risk of a lot of diseases. Tobacco is the single most dangerous thing you can do, I swear. Cancers, every type of cancer, bladder cancer, stomach cancer, throat cancer. People used to pick tobacco in the days of the slaves. They used to pick tobacco to have hand cancer, right? So, so COPD, a little bit of it, but not much. And it's a chronic cough, some of them with the bronchitis. I do see some of what we call, and these are only younger people, Raynaud's disease, where they get like a darker looking fingers and toes, wherein you realize the extremity is not getting enough oxygen. But I feel like this is with misuse and overuse and abuse, I find that, and this is the truth, and this is my truth, I find that ancients, even with the smoking or the usage of marijuana, I find that it was a lifestyle. So it was a balance, and the ones them farming and the ones them are doing, different. The lifestyle is very whole. So even if them not go sit all day and just sipping herb all day, them will work and they're doing them things. So the amount of herb that they would consume is not a amount that you would say would have caused an ailment, right? Even if because too much of nothing is good. I promise you, too much of anything, food, anything. Too much of nothing is good. So I find that this is something too that we have, because I think with the also the push for legalization of herb coming down the line, I feel like we tend to want to abuse. Yeah. And that is not saying, and I would never say that anything is wrong with marijuana, but there's something wrong with any type of abuse of any substance at all.
Well, let me hear you say mountain, mountain.